Big game breakdown here on Sportsbet. Rhode Island and St. Bonaventure. The Rams and the Bonnies tonight, Friday night, ESPN2. This line's been bouncing all over the place this morning. Got bet up to Rhode Island -3 at one point. Then back down to 2.5. That's what you see up on the screen right now. There are twos mostly as I record this. And, of course, this opened Rhode Island -1 last night. So we've seen money go betting the line up, and we've seen a little bit of money betting it back down so far today. Total sitting at 151. Whiteout at the Riley Center tonight. Rhode Island, look at the numbers. 21-3 straight up this season. 13-0 in A10 play. 16-0 their last 16 ball games. But the Bonnies aren't that far behind. 19-6, 9-4, and they've won their last 7. Rhode Island's real. I'm a believer in Danny Hurley's squad. You look at their 3 losses this season. At Alabama, Virginia at a neutral floor in Brooklyn, Nevada, all legit teams. That's the only 3 times they've been dogs all year. So the markets certainly aren't sleeping on Rhode Island. The first meeting between these two teams, pretty one-sided. Rhode Island 87-73. They won and covered as 7.5-point chalk in that contest. They won the boards pretty convincingly, 39-31. Shooting percentage, 47-38. They were the better team, plain and simple, in that first meeting. Of course, we talk about this mid-major matchup. Not in the backcourt. These guys are big-time talents. Jalen Adams and Matt Mobley for St. Bonnie's. Jared Terrell and E.C. Matthews for Rhode Island. Each of those duos, the Adams-Mobley, the Terrell-Matthews, they're among the best tandems in the country. All 4 starting guards are seniors. You look at the first meeting between these two teams, yeah. It's Adams-Mobley versus Terrell and Matthews as the key components here. Danny Hurley calls Terrell and Matthews Batman and Batman. There's no Robin there. 231 combined starts between those guys. But the key this season, the emergence of the sophomore point guard, Jeff Doughton. He's got 136 assists versus only 31 turnovers. He runs the offense. That allows those 2 guys to be the scorers. And great team defense. I'm so impressed with Rhode Island on the defensive side of the basketball court. Number 27 in total defense. Number 4 in percentage of turnovers forced. This team gets after it on the defensive end of the court. But there's an issue tonight, potentially, with E.C. Matthews. Matthews left in the first half against Richmond on Tuesday. The team did play without him for 6 games earlier in the season. They adjusted well. They didn't have any problems against Richmond. They won 85-67. He's officially listed as questionable. Danny Hurley, quote, "He's feeling a lot better. No MRI needed. He picked up a scare and a bruise. He'll be fine." Jared Terrell, quote, "He's walking around giggling and smiling with the guys. I think he'll be fine." Well, they're talking the talk. We got to see him on the floor tonight to be sure of that. St. Bonnie, man, you love these guards. I love these guards. Adams, 20.5 points a game. Mobley, 18.5 points a game. These guys can light it up. Adams is number 2 in the country. 51%, just shy of 51% from the floor on 3-point shots. And he's a high-volume guy, 62 of 122. He's also just shy of 83% at the free throw line. Adams and Mobley have combined to average better than 50 points per game over their last 5 contests. Jalen Adams, quote, "Anytime we can get both clicking, it's always going to be good for the team. We know teams' game plan to stop us from scoring, so when we can get going, it just makes everybody's job easier. If we can keep that up, I think we're going to be tough to beat." Look, this Bonnie's team is no joke. They were good enough to win at Syracuse. They were good enough to beat Maryland on a neutral in Florida. They've only one home loss all year, and that came by a single bucket on opening night back on November 10th. It's a strong home court. But Bonnie's only 81 in the nation in total defense, number 49 in turnover percentage forced. They're decent defensively. They're good defensively, but they're not at Rhode Island's level. That being said, every team's going to lose. We're well past the year in college basketball where teams go undefeated indefinitely. Just look last night, Cincy, Purdue, Ohio State all going down. This is the type of game that if Rhode Island's going to lose one, could be tonight. Fun game to consider. Boy, tough one to bet on, though. I'll tell you. Trying to come up with an opinion, no, I'm not going to force it. Rhode Island, tonight. I lean in their direction, but nothing I'm going to get to the window with. Villanova Xavier coming up next right here on SportsBit. Betting insight today from SBRpicks.com. Like the show? Help us keep the lights on. Please make sure to comment, share, and subscribe to all the Sportsbook Review videos. Thanks so much. Best of luck. Enjoy the game.